All right, so first things first. Who are you? What's your role? And where do you work?
Hi, my name is Brock Mowry. I am the CTO at Tintri, which is a division of TDN. We've been a storage manufacturer since 2012, moving into data management and different areas of platforms like Kubernetes.
What news are you bringing to our audience today?
So one of the things that Tintri is focused on is bringing extreme visibility as well as performance to the persistent volume environment. So really focused around stateful applications and solving challenges and providing visibility for people in that arena.
This is a bit of a bonus question. I used to run the data on Kubernetes community for 3 years. Some people still believe that Kubernetes isn't ready for running stateful workloads. What do you have to say for that?
I think those times have passed. That may be an old school way of thinking. Persistent volumes, CSI, a lot of these data attachment capabilities have really become a lot more robust, and we're starting to see a lot more data management capability within that. So not just attaching to a persistent volume, but actually providing other services around it, like data protection with replication and various other facilities, like quality of service as an example.
In terms of the specific challenges that Tintri is addressing, can you walk me through them and perhaps any features or products that are specifically tackling those issues?
Yeah, so again, we want to really focus on simplicity. We want to be the product that can get up and operational as quickly as possible. It's literally 7 steps to get our CSI deployed into an existing Kubernetes cluster. But we want to also be able to provide that feedback to how that application is running. So we have physical data planes in that we have a 2U appliance that goes into a data center for your on-prem solutions. We're also working on some cloud solutions that deploy our technology into clouds, be able to consume third-party storage through our CSI, but then it gives you a level playing field between different environments because you're working with the same metrics regardless of the platform you're on. So you can tell, hey, this platform is actually providing better performance, better service compared to this other platform because you have even metrics to look at versus looking at one cloud provider's perspective of metrics versus another.
How does the current situation with Tintri's strategy change the landscape compared to what existed before?
So again, it's taking complexity out of the equation. A lot of these solutions, they are very techy, they are very involved, but there's businesses that can't get caught up in that minutia. They need to move quickly, and in some cases, they may need to move quickly, but they're not exactly as well versed as some of the other organizations that have been working with Kubernetes as long. So we want to create that on-ramp that gives them the facility to be able to know what's going on, interact with Kubernetes teams, and talk the same language as them from an infrastructure and storage perspective.
And for the open source community out there, is what Tintri is providing open source? And if so, where does it fit in the CNCF landscape?
Yeah, so today we don't have an open source offering. We are working one in the background. So we are in the process of putting together a special release around a containerized version of our controller that's a little bit lighter in capacities. So that way people can get this product into their home labs, they can play with it, and then develop off of that even further.
And can you break down Tintri's business model and pricing structure for teams that are evaluating the solution?
Yeah, so for our physical on-prem gear, it's a traditional CapEx purchase with an annual maintenance. On our cloud services, we do offer MRR, recurring monthly billing on that service as well.
And when people are exploring this space, which alternative solutions might they be considering alongside yours?
Yeah, so we see a lot of competitive conversations happening with Portworx, we've seen a couple of them out of some other storage vendors that are starting to release their CSIs as well. I think Portworx is probably one of our closest competitors, but again, we're focusing on trying to create a completely integrated solution, and again, ease of use.
And what key advantages set Tintri apart from similar solutions in the market?
So I think one of the biggest ones is the metrics that we generate based off of the workloads and then how we action on those metrics. So within our system, we are looking at various aspects of the I/O patterns, and we're looking at across the fleet of data plane. And we actually provide the ability to balance those workloads across all of the different data planes. So it's really the visibility and the automation around adapting to the workload and providing the most performance at the lowest latency possible.
And looking towards the future, what developments can our audience anticipate from Tintri?
Yeah, so it's expanding our capabilities. Like I mentioned, we're working on a containerized version of our controller. That's going to allow us to be able to deploy in different areas. So we started out with on-prem. That was kind of where our roots came from. But you're going to start seeing us stretch out into multi-cloud offerings. Again, bringing our tech into that cloud environment so that you have an even playing field from understanding metrics from one environment to another.
How can interested listeners from our audience connect with you to learn more or get started?
Yeah, so we have all of our socials. socials, they're mostly all at Tintri.com, depending on what the platform is, or at Tintri rather. There's obviously Tintri.com. We do keep our website as up to date as possible. We also do a monthly webinar around the technology. It's completely technology focused. We try to stay away from slides as much as possible and focus on just real world hands-on product demos.